Welcome back, everyone. So today, we're gonna do something, I was gonna go for like a prime rib type of thing. You know, that's one of my favorite cuts. You know, ribeye, prime rib, same cuts, different ways of cooking it. You know, one's a roast, one's on the grill. But I love, you know, just a good slow cook piece of meat. I think it's absolutely delicious. What we're gonna do is I got all of my just kind of herbs, floral, aromatics. I pull this out. It's always gonna let your meat rest for, you know, a good hour or so. It's not gonna go bad. It's one of those things where once when you let it sit out, kind of room temperature, you gotta cook it. It is totally safe. You know, it'll make the cooking process a lot more even, and you'll get a little better result. We got some fresh herbs here as well. We have some fresh rosemary. We have some fresh oregano. We got some fresh thyme. Fresh garlic. So yeah, we got that. We're gonna do just traditional, you know, our kosher salt. Kind of made a little mixture here of a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. We're gonna coat in there as well. And then I thought it'd kind of be fun. We're gonna do 3 fresh herbs and we're gonna do 3 dried herbs. Same ones, rosemary, oregano, and thyme. So let's get started. I already have the oven on about 450 or so. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get this thing all nice coated, lathered up, put it in the oven for maybe about 25, 35 minutes or so. Get it up to temperature, kind of get the cooking process going, and then I'm gonna turn it down to about 300. This one, we're gonna shoot for a nice mid-rare. We'll be using a thermometer, no guessing, no cutting into your steak. You need to stick it in around 130, you know. We're gonna start thinking, all right, it's getting ready to pull it out. Pull it out around 135 or so, let it rest. And we're gonna cook up some veggies with this. We're gonna make a little au jus, and we'll do some veggies. Probably do some carrots, broccoli, I think spinach. No starch today. So first things first, I'm just gonna kind of chop up my fresh herbs we got right here. So we're just gonna do a kind of rough chop. So what we're gonna do is we'll take a little bit of olive oil. This will just help it stick. That's about all it's really gonna do for us. Probably start with the salt, pepper first. We'll do the garlic powder, onion salt, dried herbs, and then we'll cover the fresh herbs on the outside. I think that'll be a nice touch to it all. Let's see what we got here. Got the oven already preheated. It's at 450. We're gonna stick this in for about 30 minutes, and I'm gonna turn it down to about 300. And I'm hoping it'll be done in about, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours. Right now it's 5:30, so around 7:30, we'll start checking. I'll see you then. So we have the beef in the oven, and in the meantime, I'm gonna start pulling together a kind of like an au jus. We'll do like a mushroom, you know, wine, kind of like steak sauce, kind of something classic. So yeah, I have some garlic. I have some thyme, just a couple sprigs. Got some cremini mushrooms. Got a shallot, and then we got some beef stock. We got some red wine and a little bit of cornstarch to thicken it up after we let it reduce a little bit. So I'm just gonna half them, slice them up a little bit. Something nice and rough. Got our pan a little bit hot already. So we're just gonna pull this all right in. Kind of sweat those down a little bit. Just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in here, nothing crazy. I'm gonna do a pinch of salt. The salt will help starting to pull out the moisture in the mushroom. So we got the mushrooms are gonna start going. We got them on about medium heat. We'll start going that, and then we'll cut up some shallot. I like a little bit more fine. I don't really want a big piece. I kind of want it to cook down into the sauce. The mushrooms, I want to pretty much just have gravy and mushrooms. That's really my goal. Throw our shallots in. This is some of the leftover chopped garlic, some of those herbs from the steak that we put on. That's why it's not just garlic, but use everything. There we go. All right, so it's been about 5-10 minutes or so. Kind of got the mushrooms just breaking down a little bit. It's still pretty whole. The shallots are starting to kind of get a little translucent. So we got our beef stock. You could use chicken stock, vegetable stock. I think vegetable stock. I think vegetable stock just have some fat in there. I never cook with it, so I don't know. But chicken and beef are usually my go-to. Low sodium, totally fine. Use that all the time. But so we got the butter all dissolved. Let's add in our beef stock. Woo-woo. About 2 cups. Maybe about a cup of wine. Red wine, dry wine. Doesn't have to be a fresh bottle. Usually I always have a cooking wine sitting off to the side, ready to go. But yeah, it's on medium heat, very watery. We're going to get it boil a little bit and turn it down to like a low simmer. Kind of watch it as it starts to reduce. And then towards the end, I'll start to add a little bit of cornstarch slurry. You could use flour, something to kind of thicken it up a little bit. If you don't want to use flour, gluten-free, you don't want to use cornstarch, you could just add a lot of butter, to be honest. Heavy cream will thicken up as well. It's one of those things, again, you kind of play with it, add what you like, and go from there. We got our steak sauce, mushroom cab reduction. And then we're going to have our veggies that we'll do a little bit later. And then we'll make a little horseradish cream sauce, and we'll be complete. Like I said, no starch today. We're just going to do veggies and meat. A couple sides with the sauce and the dipping sauce. Dippity hippity hippity. Catch you guys back in a little bit. Thanks. We've turned our meat down to about just under 300 degrees. Starting to get a nice crust over the outside. And I set the timer for about 45 minutes. We're down to 36 minutes. Another one of my favorites with this dish is the horseradish cream sauce. Working in a steakhouse, I used to have to make it for a living. Basically we're just going to take some sour cream. Put that in there. Kind of hard to say exactly how much. Even at the restaurant, I don't really have a recipe. I just have the ingredients, and you just kind of just taste it as you go. I'm going to take some horseradish. Good dollop. This is some hot stuff. Got that in there. I'm going to take a little bit of Dijon. A little squirt. Nothing crazy. Do a little dash of Worcestershire. Whoa, that came out fast. And the dash is broken. That was a pour. It'll be fine. And then just take a squeeze of lemon. The lemon will kind of curl it up a little bit, so you want to mix it up. We'll do a little salt and pep. A little pinchy pinch. Mix it up. I'm just going to set this in the fridge and let it just wait for us. This can always be made ahead of time, like what we're doing right now. Okay, let's mix that up. Give it a little taste. Make sure it's to your liking. Kick, but it's a little bit more. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I love this stuff with pot roast. I love it with prime rib. Well, there we go. Woo! Got a little kick to it. But yeah, you see right there, a little gray, some studs in it. You can put more black pepper in if you want that kind of heat instead. Probably put paprika in there if you wanted. Probably put some herbs in there if you wanted. Let's tap one more time. All right, we're back. So it's about 7:30. I think we put it in at 5:30 for about 30 minutes. So at 6 o'clock, we turned it down to, I turned it on just under 300. It was about like 290, 280 or so. Roast looks awesome. Basically, I set it for about 45 minutes. And then I checked it every 15 minutes after that. It's one of those ones where it'll creep up on you really quickly. You want to do a couple different checkpoints or whatnot. But here you can kind of see our roast. It did kind of fall over. I don't know why I won't stand up. Basically, I was like, I kept checking it, and it went to like 120, and it kind of just stuck there. It was hard for me to kind of get another attempt going up. So this is kind of how it was sitting, and now it's kind of rolled over to its side. It's kind of lost. This is the fat cap on top of it. We go right down the middle. We're on that 140 mark, which is that medium rare. Nice thing with it is, the sides will be completely cooked. Like I was saying, it does have a lot of crust, a lot of good flavor, all that good stuff. I'm gonna cut it this way down, but for right now, I'm just gonna let it rest. It can just sit there on its side. Maybe put a little tin foil over the top of it. But it's good. Tin foil, and wrap it over. Bingo bongo, here we go. The entire time, our au jus, steak sauce, mushroom reduction, whatever you want to call it, has been on the oven on low. It's reduced by about half so far, which is killer. It's getting nice and thick. And then what we're gonna do here is I just made like a little slurry. It's a little bit of a cornstarch, a little bit of water. Just been stirring this probably, every about 20 minutes or so. You don't want anything to stick to the bottom. And then we're just gonna add a little in. A little whiskey whisk. Just wanna keep moving it. If you don't whisk as it goes in, it'll kind of congeal at the bottom, which isn't the end of the world. It'll just take you don't have to just kind of scrape it off and get that looking good. So we're gonna just keep thickening this up a little bit. It's got a nice gravy consistency. One thing I will say, very important, just in general, to use stainless steel whisk, stainless steel pan, aluminum, much cheaper, but not that much cheaper, to be honest. You can find, honestly, good aluminum pans at some of your value stores, that type of stuff, but it makes all the difference in the world, to be honest. We got some water boiling here for our veggies. We're gonna give them a quick blanch, and then we're going to saute them. But yeah, back to the equipment. I remember at one of my old restaurants, one of the chefs, he had an aluminum whisk and an aluminum pan, and he was making a bechamel, usually what's used for classic mac and cheese. And you just got to keep on, stirring it, scraping it, all that type of stuff. And he was doing, big pot, for a restaurant. And we're using the whisk, doing that. And as he's going through with it, at the very end, he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, can you take a look at this? Like, this doesn't look right." And I come over and take a look at it, and I kid you not, the white bechamel was green. And I didn't understand why. I was like, "What's going on?" I asked one of our consultants at the time, and he said that it was the aluminum metal was breaking down inside of the actual cream and roux and tainted it green. And then when you taste it, it had a metallic taste to it. So ever since that day, that was probably 2012, so 8 years ago, ever since that day, I've really stopped all aluminum stuff. I will say I do enjoy aluminum fry pans, for eggs and stuff like that, but anything else, stainless steel all the way. It definitely makes a big difference. And just better quality, and it's not that much more expensive. So, back to here. So like I said, we're just doing veggies and meat tonight. We got our steak sauce on the side. I thought we'd do some carrots, some broccoli. Maybe throw some spinach in there as well. Kind of do a nice little bingo bongo, that type of stuff. I have a pot of rolling water. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to blanch all these veggies really quickly. And then I'm not going to even chill them down because I'm going to use them immediately. So I'm just going to throw it right into the hot pan, essentially, right afterwards. Turn the pan on. I'm going to move back to the back burner, doing what I can work. I'm going to throw the butter in the pan for just right now. I'll throw maybe a little bit of olive oil. Butter and olive oil always work well. That way your oil won't burn. What is that? So your butter doesn't burn. One of them helps the other one. They're a pair. Right here. Thinking, I was thinking about my veggies. I don't know how I want to display them. Maybe let's do like what we did, like on the buy it, And it's gonna be, a little closer together. So I'm gonna throw this all into the boiling water. Ooh, always want salty water. I'll give it a nice little some. Veggies in. We're just gonna do about 30 seconds. Go. Just throw them all in. Throw this into the pan. Get those started. There's our pan. A little bit of butter and oil. There we go. So yeah, just gonna stir these around a little bit. Looking nice. And then yeah, like I said, we're just gonna give it a quick little blanch. Steak sauce right here. Steak sauce got a little thick on us. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it. It's one of those things where it's hard to ever say exactly what you need. It's cooking. You gotta adjust temperatures, all that good stuff. You always gotta be adjusting humidity, different areas, elevation. It's always gonna change just a little bit. So you never can go exactly off of a menu. Making bread, doughs, pizza dough, all that type of stuff, bakers always have to be adjusting with the climate, what's out there. So in the meantime, boil those down. We got our pan with a little bit of butter. I got a little bit of shallot left over, got a little garlic left over when we were brining or crusting the outside, some herbs. We're just throw it in with the veggies, it's not gonna hurt. And I'll just give a little something. We're using everything. All right, veggies are looking pretty good. I'm just gonna let these sit over here for a hot second. Let's put, that was a hot freaking dicky pan. Put that pan right here. Let's turn off this front one. And then I'm just gonna scoop these out and throw them in. At the end of it, I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of fresh lemon over the top of it. We got some little shallot, a little bit of garlic, butter, olive oil. Our sauce looking awesome, nice and thick. And then throw our veggies in. Give them a nice little roasting now. Woo, Betsy, woo! It's a party now. So we got these going, looking real nice. You blanch the broccoli. If you do it properly, really quickly, and all that good stuff, you're gonna make the broccoli really nice and green. It's really gonna bring out that nice bright color. Let's do that. Got our butter in there. And then one thing I like to do with my veggies, my mother taught me this one, is just a little bit of wine. A little wine, goes a long way. And then we're looking pretty good. After that, I'll do a little squeeze of lemon over the top. We'll probably wait a little bit. After that, we're getting ready for plating. So we're just about ready to eat. Who's hungry? Don't do that, didn't I? Woo, baby. All right, let's go in for the cut. Let's see what we did. Cross your fingers. It's a little tough. Again, it wasn't an exact ribeye. I think that turned out pretty nice. Got a little medium rare, a little blood in the middle. It's nice and juicy loosey. You got a little cap on the top. I'm happy with that. Got one from my producer, my wife. Ooh, baby. Remember, this wasn't the ribeye prime rib cut. This was the cross rib. I can only get what I can get at the store right now with the whole coronavirus. But it's gonna turn out pretty well. Look at that sitting up. Yeah, looking nice and juicy. Look at that. Got our end piece right there. Delicious. Look at that. Going with the lemon. Let's get a little bit of spinach, a little bit of carrots, a little bit of broccoli. It's a nice looking dish. Yeah, looking good. So I'm gonna no more carrot. I love carrots. And then let's do a little mushroom sauce. Ooh, that's gonna look good. Ooh. Those are horseradish on the side. Basically it. This is our prime rib dish made with the cross rib, but it'll be exactly the same with the prime rib. Here you go. I think those are just some nice, easy, fun cooking at home. Well, thanks again. Please leave a comment below. Please subscribe to our page, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy cooking.